Yes. Welcome to another episode of the Anime Podcast. It's Saturday. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. Got a funny special guest in the house tonight. Comedian. Actor, probably get into acting soon. Yo, what's going on, brother?
What's up, big dog? Just here chilling, man. Really appreciate you bringing me on here to jump on this podcast with you. Yeah, man, just down here in deep South Texas, bro, at the tip of Texas, man, down at the bottom of the map. Putting in work.
Yes, sir. Yeah, when I talked to you yesterday, I was like, dang, how he gonna do the podcast? He had a wedding.
Yeah, man, for a local artist, man. They're actually getting pretty big. Popular Loner. If you get a chance, check them out, man. They got some good music videos out right now. He was having a wedding, bro, and it was the last minute. Like, hey, man, can you come do some time? Come hang out with us and everything. So, they've always kind of supported. So I went out there and I supported them. And man, we're in the middle of like a hunting reserve. Like, we had to drive past like a safari, past a hunting grounds, all the way back to the back of a lake. Yeah, I had to stand on the side of the road and get signal. Like, man, it was bad, man. Yeah,
hey, for the people that might not know who you is, introduce yourself, give yourself those accolades right quick.
Yeah, man. My name is Anthony Nino, bro. Fastest rising name in South Texas comedy, coming out of Harlingen, Texas, down on the RGV in 956. Down at the bottom of the map. I'm a comedian going on 6 years. I've been putting in work. I've been working with some bigger names. Recently I've been moving up the ladder, hitting Corpus, San Antonio, a little bit of Austin. Trying to put in that work, put in that grind, Laredo.
Yeah, man. I watched the episode with you. I think the podcast, give him a quick shout out. I think it was Cold Brews and Conversations.
Yeah. My boy Josh, man. Yeah.
Shout out to the podcast. I checked that interview. That was a dope interview y'all did.
Yeah, man. I was fresh in the game for that one, man. And I know homeboy from way back in the day, man. He's from a town close to where I come from, and yeah, man, it was pretty badass sitting down with them, hanging out with them, just drinking it up, talking it up, just like it should be.
Yeah, absolutely. Hold on, what did I just do? Yeah, cheers, man. Cheers. How was the wedding?
It was pretty badass, bro. It was like I said, they're kind of a rock rapper, so it was a really nice place, really nice venue. They ended up giving out tattoos, got me a badass little toxic sign, toxico as hell. How we do it. Yeah, man, they're giving out free tattoos. It was really cool. Me and my girl dancing and laughing, hanging out with people from the different parts of the industry, music, hanging out with actors, Everybody from the Valley area kind of came together for that wedding. It was pretty cool. Pretty cool event, man. Hanging out, just there busting out, showing out, letting them know how I do it on my end.
Hey, did you do a show there?
Yeah, it's a little bit of time, man. Just kind of break the ice, talk a little bit.
Hey, that's dope. My best friend, he had his wedding, and this is my first time ever seeing it. Usually receptions be like boring and the regular. Yeah. But he had a stand-up comedian there, dude named Skills Hudson, and it was the first time I ever seen anything like that, and it was hilarious. And I was like, if I ever get married again, I want a stand-up comedian at my reception. And he told clean jokes. It was funny. Everybody was laughing because you got older people, kids and stuff.
Yeah. You gotta work the different crowds out there. Yeah, I've been lucky. This is my third wedding that I've done. It's more for like people that are supporters that we support each other down here in the Valley, especially a lot of different genres of art. And though I've been reached out to 2 other ones, and then this one, and the last one I did was for some rockers. They were like a rock band and everything. So they told me, hey, be dirty all you want. I tore it up, man. Started talking to their aunts, but tearing it up. And when they were done with us, they had a guy go in and he tattooed the bride and the groom, and he was giving out free tattoos. So you lined up, you get yourself a tattoo, and they had belly dancers. Like, it was something way different, man. And that's kind of why I like to take those little gigs, because you never know what you're rolling up on. It turned out to be a great night. We had drinks all night, open bar, stuck in the middle of nowhere, nobody on their cell phone, ain't no use, ain't no signal. Put it to the side, down by the border.
Hey, so I kind of wanted to get into your story a little bit. That's why I named it, from the streets to the stage. I did a little research. I know you was thugging for a minute. So I want you to just tell us a little bit about how you even got into the business of comedy.
The business of comedy, man, is like I tell people all the time, bro. Back in the day, I was making killers laugh, and I just never had a microphone. Like, I was, where I come from, I did that little street thing for a little bit, hung out with the neighborhood with the homeboys and stuff. It wasn't until I started, chilling with my uncle who was older than me, who kind of started putting me onto everything more and more, you know. But you know, I would just be in, you know, hanging out with him and his homeboys, you know, hanging out with, you know, older guys or whatever, and just having, you know, holding court in the middle of a bunch of thugged out, you know, tatted up Mexicans, you know, just running my mouth, you know, clowning on everybody, you know, just working the room, you know, having fun, you know, partying out. I'm talking partying the fuck out, you know. But it was just a lot of that, bro. Like, you know, being in situations where, you know, these guys, you know, they're wired out, you know, they're all, you know, grinding teeth. But if I can have them hold them, you know, it was real easy for me, especially like my uncle. Like my uncle was thug too, but he was like the mayor of the city, bro. Everybody knows the guy. He's a former Golden Glove boxer, you know, he's Olympic, you know, boxer, everything. So he's popular around here, and he'd be the same way, bro. Me and him would just show up, and we'd have the whole place just rolling. So you know, it took a little while. You know, I went on my own. When I left everything, you know, when I got custody of my daughter, I kind of left all that behind. You know, I kind of stepped away from it, trying to, you know, better my life, and I ended up getting married and everything. And I would have started working as a security guard at a bar that we used to hang out at. That it was like the neighborhood bar, and I would same thing, bro. I'd be outside with people just hanging out outside, smoking cigarettes and just holding court. You know, just everybody just, you know, talking shit. You know, making everybody laugh, talking about this, talking about that. You know, and then I started picking up other security jobs, and I was working at a wine house, and I would do security out there, and you know, again having everybody, you know, back and forth, and that's where they started pushing me, like, you need to do stand-up comedy, and I was like, nah, you know, like where I lived, there was nothing like that, nothing at all. Like we didn't have nothing that I knew about. So it so happened, like about 5 years into it, I saw a flyer for a show that was happening down the street from me, and it's actually with the crew that I started with. Like they had already been doing comedy, but they had a show. So I showed up, you know, and everything, and I saw them do it. And it was my first time even at a comedy show. It was 3 people in the crowd, 6 comedians waiting to go up. You know what I mean? Like it was that kind of thing, man. And it was like, you know, I loved it. I loved it that there was finally a chance for me to jump into it. So I ended up showing up to their open mics, and it was over from there, man. I started really hitting it. You know, I've been grinding it out. I've been, you know, I'm one of those comics that'll drive 4 or 5 hours to go do a mic, you know, for free, just to get a chance at a microphone, just to get a chance in front of a new crowd and work it, you know, and just stay working at it. And that same mentality that I had back in the day, being surrounded, you know, by what I was surrounded by, but just, you know, being me, lighting it up and everything. And I tell people all the time, when I was doing all that shit, that was a character. Me on stage where I'm at now, that's what I should have been from the beginning. That because this is no, you know, I've never felt nothing the way I feel like when I'm on that stage.
Right.
You know, and yeah, and it's been good because like I'm not scared, you know, like from where I came from, like I tell people, like these guys are grinding their teeth laughing. You know what I mean? Like you ever seen a Mexican with wide pupils? Like try making him laugh. Like, man.
Yeah, I saw one show. You said you walked in a court and it looked like the waiting room at Cracker Barrel. I was on the floor.
Yeah, man. The jury looked like he stopped and he picked up everybody in the waiting room, man. Like, yeah, man. And like that stuff is like, it's just, especially like in my area in the valley, you know, that's something that everybody can connect with. And that's what I've kind of, when I first started doing comedy, I was trying to do the thug thing, you know, the old school, like the thug, you know, yeah, this is funny, but it wasn't working, bro. And it's like I said, like I was still trying to be, you know, what I made myself to be because of my surroundings. You know, I was still trying to play that character. Like, nah. So I just started connecting more and more with the crowds, and then I started noticing, like, no matter where I go, no matter what city I'm in, the jokes now can connect with everybody because everybody has a little bit of hood in them, but they don't need to be all thugged out. You know, like you know, so they understand where I'm coming from. They understand my references. They understand all that, and you know, especially the white people, man, they love talking to a ghetto Mexican. Man. They'll let you chop it up all day just to hear your stories.
Yeah. Hey, at what moment did you say, you know what, I'm making these people laugh. Let me really, really, really take this seriously. What was that? What defining moment was, like a year into it? You know, 2 weeks into
it? To me, I love the art so much, and the thing about me, and I've always preached, is that comedy is about time and effort. You know, nothing comes within any true comic will tell you, you ain't gonna see no success unless you make it 10 years. You know, every comic's gonna tell you it takes time, it takes effort, it takes sacrifice to get there. So I always had that mentality of, you know, I'm not gonna get ahead of myself. Like I'm gonna work on this, I'm gonna work on this. It started really clicking for me when I started seeing that I had done one show for a friend of ours that had passed away, Tom from cancer, Tom West, man. He was a great comedian, man. That guy was a killer. You know, and he fucking when he passed, we had a memorial for him. Like we had a memorial show. So it was a night that all of us were in pain. I was in pain. Like for somebody like me, we ain't gonna be like just crying it out, bro. You're gonna bury it deep. Eat it. Just hold back everything. So I was having a bad time. And just it was a tough night. So I went on stage, and before I went on stage, I prayed, man. I prayed to Tom and everything, and I just said, I'm gonna leave it all out there for you, man. I'm gonna leave it all out there. So we ended up going in. It was a packed house, little bar that we all started doing comedy in, but packed. I'm talking like 60 people in a little packed bar. And we go in there, and I hit the stage, bro, and I hit it. And it literally felt like I wasn't even talking. Like if you're watching from behind, like the Joker movie, like you're just seeing him, but you're just hearing the laughs, and I'm just rolling with it. And I'm bringing everybody, and I'm picking it up, I'm bringing it down. How I'm controlling it. And like I just felt like I left it all out there, bro. So when I got off stage, I still was kind of holding back the emotions. And when I went to go to the bar to get a drink, one of the biggest names here in South Texas, Raymond Horta, man, he's a huge comedian. He's an OG in the region. We call him him, Mario, Sonia Trevino. They're the godfathers of South Texas comedy. They started it all back 20 years ago. And so I went to the bar, and I just felt this giant guy just grab me. You grabbed me, like pulled me, like, hey, bro, you killed it. I did good and everything. Well, it ended up being him. I didn't even know he was in the building.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I didn't even know he was in the building, and I just gave it all, man. I gave it, and he pulled me out. He talked to me and everything. And then it was from there when I kind of like got like him telling me like, hey, bro, you're on the right path. How long you been doing it? Oh, about 2.5 years, 3 years. I would have never expected that from a 3-year comedian, bro. Like somebody like that telling me that, hey, you got this, you got this. And then I started noticing the calls from like Mario, from Raymond, started coming more from the bigger comedians. But it was from that show that I just kept pushing it and pushing it and pushing it. And like right now, I've been very blessed in this game, man. I've hung out with a lot of cool people. I met a lot of cool people. I've done a lot of cool stages. Famous people on the come up. Killers that you just hear rumors about. You get to share the stage with them. And then both of y'all bring that energy, and it's just a feeling that I can't describe, bro. And it's, I can't say that I'm successful right now. I'm doing great. I'm great for where I'm at. But to me, like, this is still part of the journey, bro. Like, I can't get comfortable on where I'm at because then I ain't gonna push to where I need to be. You know what I mean? So, it's complicated.
It just seemed like it comes so natural with you. I watched a couple of your shows, and I'm like, damn, he seemed like some people just got it. They just got your timing, your chops, everything like on point. Did that come natural for you, or did you really behind the scenes work on it?
I mean, before comedy, I always thought I was a bad motherfucker, and walking in at 5'3", you gotta have a confidence if you're gonna be around some, monsters. You know what I mean? Like, that the confidence for me has always been there, bro. And people have always, like say, like, I've not that I'm cocky or anything. It's just that I love it, and when I love it and I'm in the zone, it's like going and watching my uncle when he would box. He was boxing in the tournaments and everything, watching him before he stepped in the ring, and I do the same thing as him. I'll be walking back, pacing back and forth, pounding my chest, just it's like I hype up other comedians around me, bro, because I'm just, like I love it. To me, it's not even about that, it's easy to me. It's just when I'm up there, like I'm king of the world when I'm up there, whether I'm the headliner, whether I'm the feature, even if I'm the opener. If I only got 8 minutes on the stage for the 8 minutes, I'm the king of this fucking world. And that's it, and it's just the feeling once you get the first big pop, the first big laugh, you're in, you're past the waves, now it's just, whichever way you want to take it.
Yeah. How long does it take you to come up with material? Are you writing from life experiences, which to me is like the best comedy when you write from personal experience, or are you just freestyling?
No, I do freestyle with my notes. I freestyle with what I write on, like me, I don't script out my comedy. It's a lot of bullet points. It's okay, talk about this, and then so it leaves like a lot of room for like to mess with it. So like if I want to talk about one certain subject, all right, here's the punch and here's the big punch, so I already know like I can kind of just work this out wherever I'm at. So the freestyling is like me, I'm at the point where I don't mess with hecklers. I don't do crowd work. Of course, like in between, like I'll mess with, not mess with people, but talk to them and everything. But like those comics that come out and do 15, 20 minutes of crowd work, like, I don't do that. You know what I mean? Like they're not here for me to talk to them. They're here for me like to talk and make them laugh. And and like as far as like for the writing, it's like I also have a day job. I'm a custodian. So while I'm at work, if I think about something right away, I type it down. boom, 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 during my lunch break or whenever it's calmed down, pull out my notebook, just write on it and write on it and write on it. And that like a joke will take me maybe about a week before I feel comfortable even putting it on stage. I want to tweak it, but I want to tweak it to where there's still room to work with it instead of just coming with the whole paragraph and this is what I'm gonna say and everything. No, I'm gonna work little bits. Even like if it's in conversation with people, like work a little bit on them that they don't know. I just want to see what their reaction is gonna be. Like, all right, cool. Say it over here. Talk to homeboy over here. Like, hey, yeah, it's funny. All right, cool. Like, it takes a while before I even take it to the stage. Because but a lot of new stuff just comes off of like freestyling too. Like at open mics, that's why I love open mic because you can do your jokes or you can go and freestyle with them, and then the jokes will come from that.
Got you.
Yeah.
I was gonna ask you, is it hard to remember like a whole 30 minutes worth of material? How do you memorize all that?
Oh man, it's hard because it's not that you write an entire 30 minutes complete. You're putting together a 5-minute bit here, a 3-minute bit here, a 10-minute bit there, this. So to me, that's the hardest part. Like right now, I'm pushing about 25 to 30.
Wow.
So I'm considered a feature spot. So and that's what I had to learn a lot is that it's hard because you're putting a bunch of little jokes together to fill your 30 minutes. Unless you've already gotten to that level in comedy where you can write your whole hour as one whole story. That's a different level of comedy.
Yeah.
That's 20, 25 years in the game where you can get to that level.
Yeah.
And where you can make it flow like that. So right now it's about taking, hundreds of hours and minutes of work and trying to put them and trying to make them sound like they go together for the 30 minutes, or to push it further than that. So a lot of it's repetition, and that's what people like starting to, especially how the comedy community got so big, they're starting to realize that okay, we're saying a joke in front of you, but we've probably said this joke 50 times before we even came to you. So they understand like okay, they're working a bit, or especially like if it's a free show, we're working a bit. Like this is just a paid open mic. Like you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
You
ever been on stage and was like, damn, I forgot the punchline to the joke, and then they had to freestyle it.
Yeah, and that's what I like about hosting. I really like I love hosting because it gives you the chance to whenever it happens all the time. If you do your 30 minutes, you always think like shit, I could have said this, or damn, I could have said this joke, or I could have hit him with this, or I could have pointed that guy out or something. So with hosting, it really it's like I said, like the OGs in the game here that I've been working with, they really like Raymond and Mario will challenge me like, hey, you're gonna feature this show, but next year you're gonna host. Or we're gonna bring you in. You're just gonna open. So and what I liked about the hosting is they taught me how to take care of a show, and it also taught me how to really open, not stick to the script so much when it comes to your jokes. Because as hosting, you go do your 5 minutes up top, and then you do about a minute or two in between each comedian, to kind of get the vibe back up. You want to get the crowd back into it, and then they bring up your next comic. So that's really giving me a chance to like learn how to like get my set together. And I could have said this, okay, and then I shorten it, and then I remember to bring it back, or I'll go up again, or I'm looking through the crowd and I see a dude, drinking something, like, all right, I'm gonna talk about him real quick, and then start making a joke about that. So it teaches you how to be on your toes, man, and like I said, it teaches you how to run a show. It teaches you how to get there early. It teaches you how to talk to the mic guy, get the lights together, get all this together, make sure the pay's taken care of, but it's really cool because you get more opportunities being a great host. Like if I host for, like I just hosted for Chingo Bling not too long ago. I hosted a show with him and Mario Salazar. And I did, man, he's telling me, hey, bro, you were here an hour early. You made sure the sound was good. You took care of it, bro. You killed it on stage. Every time, I would bring up another comedian, I'd kill it again, bring a big laugh up. And all right, bring it up for your comedian. Like, so from that'll give me an opportunity to hopefully be a feature for him. But because he saw that I can, control this, or, open for somebody bigger, if he's collaborating with somebody, hey, I need you to do this show with me so you can meet another comic, do great in front of him, and then it goes that way, so that's what I kind of like about,
What would you consider your comedic style? Are you like George Lopez? You like Cedric Entertainer? How would you define your style?
My biggest inspiration, bro, is Joey Diaz.
Because
to me, I always relate so much to Joey Diaz. He's the first podcast that I listened to that was telling me, talking about where he came from, how his life was, that he was thugged out too, and his jokes were his stories. And even now, bro, I'll chill with comics in the backstage in the green areas or hanging out after shows, and I'm telling them stories from when I was growing up, stories that we did, and like holding court, bro, and the comics are dying, and why don't you say that on stage? Like, why don't you say that on stage? Why is this not on your crowd? Like, why aren't you putting this up there? And it's just I haven't gotten to that point where I've tweaked them enough for the crowd to relate to them. You know, because they're talking to me, but they know like where I've told them where I've come from. You know, I brought in homeboys, cousins. You know, they've seen where I've come from, so they understand. Like, okay, this guy's from this place, so these stories, you know, make sense. You know, so that's so to me, that's really I really want to work towards how Joey Diaz does it. You know, his stories, you know, they're funny, brings you in, makes you feel like you're sitting in a car with him when they're lighting the hooker's wig on fire. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Like that's a whole other piece of this game, that it's an art form, and that's something that I have to work towards. Yeah. So my style is a lot of like observational, you know, more of también from my point of view. Like, I'm a Mexican, I can't deny that. I'm a short, you know, chubby Mexican coming up on stage. So I like they know what they're looking at. So I'm just gonna elaborate on their, you know, I talk about relationship. You know, me and my wife, I'm married. You know, just stuff like that, man. You know.
Okay. Yeah, I saw one show. You said the white lady said, yeah, he broke in the car and then he jumped that gate and ran a mile down. You said you got a court. Like, nah, he ain't do that shit.
Yeah. Well, with that joke, I just stand there and I just look around for a little bit. You'll start hearing the like it starts getting bigger. I'm like, yeah, like I'll let that settle in for y'all. So how tall was the fucking fence?
Right.
Yeah, man.
Oh man. Hey, you ever look? Why do you think so many people think they could be comedians? You got Charleston White, you got T.I., and I'm like, yo, y'all not funny. Just because you got money don't mean you can get on stage. I think I'm funny, but I would never get on stage. Have you ever seen a comedian? You like, yo, bro, what you doing here?
Oh, TikTok comics. Yeah, TikTok comedians. Yeah, man, and TikTok influencers. I think they can just jump in the ring, bro, and they can't. Like I've met influencers, like local people that I got thousands of followers, I got funny videos and everything. And this is a whole other beast, dog. There ain't no edits. They ain't no. It's just you and those people. You ain't standing behind a camera for thousands of people to see you. You're standing in front of these people, and you better make them laugh.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, you might be funny to that kid over there that knows you, but are you gonna make that older lady over here laugh? Or are you gonna make that guy in the back laugh? Like, you know, and I've told him, bro. I told him, like, hey, bro, this game is time and effort. And if you're barely a year into this and you're telling us that you're gonna headline, you ain't gonna get no respect from a comedian that's been through the grind. You know, that's been through what it takes to get where they are. And you'll see the complete night and day when it comes to people that think that are trying to be comedians, and you know, comedians who are comedians, people that know the structure, know the art, know the timing, know how to work the crowds, know how to, you know, it takes, you know, it's a lot of work, man. It's not easy. But I love it, and I love it to see, like, even there's been a couple times where they get a big laugh, and to see that look on their face of, you know, like, oh shit, you know, like, to me, I love it. I love that, you know, like at the Instagram, I back up Raymond Horta. He has a weekly show there on Thursdays, and it brings out national comedians, but afterwards they do a joke of the night for the whole crowd. Winner gets money and everything. And I was at the last show, and one guy out of like 10 people, one guy came up and he said one joke, and that's all it is. You get one joke. He said one joke and lit up the whole room. And just to watch that guy, like, his face light up, like, you know, like freaking out, to have Raymond Horta next to him, like, bro, like, you know, hugging him, like, bro, that was a great one. And like, just to see that guy walking off the stage, like, he's 10 feet tall and bulletproof, bro. Like, I love that. You know, because I know that feeling. Like, I know what it feels like to get your first big, you know, laugh, to get your first big win. And, you know, so, you know, I do encourage a lot of people. And I tell even these TikTok guys, like, you need to hit the open mics, bro. You want to do a writing session, hit me up, we'll do a writing session. So I'm not going to write them for you, but I'm going to show you, like, okay, this is funny. Maybe shorten this up. You know, maybe put this line on this tag and everything like that. And we're pretty open to backing up people like that too.
Hey, have you ever said something about your wife and got off stage and she like, hey, listen, don't say it. Take that shit out of the bit.
Yeah. All the time. Yeah, no, my wife is pretty cool, man. And she's been real supportive. There was a couple times where there was a joke that I had that I would say, good news is I passed the test. You know, my wife just texted me and told me that I passed, and she's saying that she checked my location and I was exactly where I said I was gonna be at. And so like people are like, yeah, little claps or whatever. I'm like, yeah. She's gonna be real upset later when I show up at her cousin's house though. Like, as soon as I got out stage, she's like, yeah, which fucking cousin? Yeah, which one? Like, I'm telling them, they're all ugly, babe. I got the pretty one. Like, I ain't even messing with.
Do you write jokes surrounded by the family a lot?
Who, me?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, man. I've got jokes about my uncle, my uncles. I got jokes about my cousins. I got jokes, never like putting out names or nothing, but it's just my family is hilarious, bro. Like it's just a typical big Mexican fucking family. We got you got the sons that stay with their mothers just to take the house, like we tell them. Like I'll tell my wife every time she'll start babying my son, like, hey, you need to cut that mama shit in the bud right now, because in my family, they will stay in your house until you're the burden. Like they would, like you ain't gonna be doing that, So I got a couple uncles that are like, hey, like, yeah, but no, it's about my family, yes, and a lot of them are like just stories, bro. Like it's just stories that I tweak a little bit here and there that we, with stuff that we've done. So instead of making it about me and my cousins and my uncles or whatever, it's about like, hey, a family member that's like this, or hey, everybody's got a cousin that's like this, so they start kind of relating to it. Like I talk about my crackhead cousin with the wet fingers, like, like it's kind of hard to relate to that guy, but when I tell him like he's always hitting me up for $5 problems, like, they know exactly what I'm talking about. Like, hey, my car's broken down, I need $5. Well, I need that mechanic's fucking number. For $5, I'll give you $10 for his fucking number. He's fixing cars for $5, like, you know what I mean?
Right.
At 1:30 in the morning, hey, that's a fucking like, that's a good mechanic. You see, so like I do that, and the people are like, yeah, I got one just like that.
You say, I need that mechanic number quick.
Yeah. $5 problems all the time, man. Shit. Yeah, because I ran out of gas. I need $5. Not in this economy, motherfucker.
Nah, hell nah.
Yeah, I know that's a lie.
Hey, now, are you booked every weekend? You doing shows every week?
At the moment, I'm kind of slowing it down, man, because I was every week, man, 3-4 shows at a time, doing little stages, big stages, anything I could get my hands on. But I've gotten a lot of advice from older comedians that say you still got to live life, bro. Like I do got a family, I do got kids, so right now I'm kind of slowing it down and being a little bit more selective on the stages that I'm doing. Especially because like I had gotten to the point in my comedy where I felt like I already had my money set. And I'm kind of just leaning on my money set, not really putting in the work to make new material, to make it better, and everything. So it's like I said, like at a certain point it became, okay, I'm gonna make 100 here, or I'm gonna make 200 here, or I'm gonna make, like it's about the money, So right now I'm bringing it back, I'm living life, I'm spending time with my family, with my wife, my kids, and and I felt so much better to where the writing is just coming easier to me. I'm taking time out, so now it's. When the big dogs call me, of course I'm gonna be there, or when my boys from Recall Production are putting the show together, like of course I'm gonna back them up, But it's like when I'm getting called to do like, hey man, you want to drive 4 hours? It's gonna probably be about 10 people, and I can give you $50. Like, hey, you know what? Like a year ago, definitely. Like, but right now, like, like I just need to be a little bit more quality over quantity right now. It's just. If I know if I do this stage and I do great in front of this person, then it's gonna open doors to somebody, something bigger and everything. So it's kind of just really, sharpening the steel, bro. Sharpening my set, sharpening what I have right now. Being, taking a breath, taking back, having some fun, falling in love with the game again.
I saw you made a comment. You said when you promote, you don't just promote yourself. You promote that production company that you just spoke of. You promote all the guys. And I think that's important. Like a lot of people, they always I'm chasing the bag. And then they forget about like why you started anyway. Like I don't make any money doing this. I just love doing I call myself Black Joe Rogan. Like you get on my show, I talk about some of everything on the show. So it's not about the money. Of course, I would love to make money, but I love doing it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and when my boys from Recall Production, man, like they gave me the start. It was their open mics that I started at. It was their shows that I started with. And, they've always been supporting me, bro. Like, not to say that I've passed them or anything, but we have all, when I came in, I because I was still fresh in the game, I was so hyped. Everybody started, coming back up, started coming in right now together, if we do a show together, we're hard to top, especially coming out of the valley. You know, like don't get me wrong, there's great comedians in Corpus, San Antonio, Austin, Laredo, great comedians, bro, everywhere around that are putting in the work, that are grinding it out right now. You know, but yeah, as far as my crew and everything, like it's more about just being with the boys. You know, we all go do a show, we all hype each other up. As soon as one comes off the stage, kills it, we're fucking, you know, giving him a hug, you know, shaking his hand. If they eat a bag of dicks, we fucking can't wait till he gets to the back green. Like, what the hell was that? Like,
yeah. Hey,
you know,
you ever come this way toward Phoenix and do any shows?
I've been working at that, man. We're looking I was gonna get booked out of Roswell, and we're starting to like expand a little bit outside of Texas right now. So we're definitely talking to promoters out and about. You know, little by little, my name's been getting further and further along. So you know, right now it's just about setting it up right. And, you know, making sure. You know, at this point, I'm just saying, hey, give me some gas, and we'll fucking fight. We'll figure it out from there. I'll sleep in the car. I don't care, but just make sure I got a crowd. You know, give me something to work.
Right.
You know, like, and that's, you know, and it's fun, bro. Like me and my girl have been places, met people that I would have never met, never, you know, like shaking hands with politicians. You know, like coming to a show, a show that I just did, shaking my hand, taking a picture, me being a fan of hers, and she's just telling me, you're like, you know, telling me I did great, did awesome, you know, hanging out with, you know, big, you know, with celebrities, hanging out with big comedy names, meeting, you know, when I met Willie Bersena, you know, when I chill with Raymond Horta, when I chill with Chingo Bling, you know what I'm saying? Chill with Valente Rodriguez, you know, from the George Lopez show, like, you know, it's pretty. I almost got to work with Omar Gooding, but before, it was a schedule change. But I know my name is in the atmosphere, so you know, eventually it will come back.
Is he a stand-up comedian?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, he's doing stand-up right now. Yeah, man. Man, I just want to get in the room and tell him, hey, bro, that prayer? Nah, right? That prayer? I promise you, we all felt that prayer.
Yeah. Hey, you ever had any comedians hit you up like, yo, Anthony, man, can you write me some material? I got a show. I'm stuck. I need your help.
No, not help or anything like that. It's more just chill. Like a lot of material comes from when you just forget about what you're doing and just chilling with people, man. Chilling with comics, chilling, you know, like they'll show up to shows and like same thing, like we'll be chopping it up, everybody laughing all night, and then it's just like later on, you know, I've gotten messages like, hey, bro, I had such writer's block, but you know, just chilling with everybody, just chopping it up, you know, just you know, howling all night, bro. Like it just kind of, you know, woke it up a little bit and everything like that, and that's more of what like I feel works for people, like a community. You know what I mean? Like there's times where things get a little bit spread out, but eventually everybody starts coming back. And, you know, everybody starts working like that, man. And like me, where I'm at, like, you know, what I do get is a lot of advice from like the older generation, from the bigger comedians. And it's not that you should change this, you should change that. It's not like, hey, change this joke over. Like, no, it's just, hey, man, you did great, but on your timing, let them breathe. Like, don't just stack it. You know, you want to hit them. No, let them breathe. Let them enjoy their laugh. Slow it down. You know, hey, when you're on stage, you know, come over here, try doing this, or when you're doing that joke, you know, do this movement, or you know, something like that, or like, hey, change the voice, you know. So they're real supportive like that. Like they won't tell you how to change your jokes or ask you to write for them, but they will give you the advice of how to do your stage work, you know, how to work the stage, how to let jokes breathe, you know, like how to hit the tag, hit the callbacks and everything like that.
Yeah, how to work the crowd. Is it hard to be like, well, can you tell when a crowd's like into the joke, like the people that like the energy?
Oh yeah. Yeah, you can tell when you're working for it, and you can tell when it's already there. You can tell when you have them in the palm of your hand, like when they're just already giggling with you starting the joke, like, okay, like I already, you know what I mean? Like I'm gonna bring it up or I'm gonna bring it down. Like it's good, you know. And that's what I'm saying. Like it's a great feeling because, you know, like I said, while you're up there, it's your world and you're controlling it. That's the one thing that you can control, is that, you know, how you react to the energy. Because if it's bad, you're looking for a lifeline. You're begging for a light. You know what I mean? Like you're like, shit, like, you know, I'll get this. There was, you know, I had been on a real good hot streak, man, and then I did a show in Laredo, and I had killed it the last time I was there. Killed it. So I came in like, nah, this is my crowd already. You know, I was already acting a little cocky, talking to the newer comics, like, all right, man, you better bring it up because I'm coming after you, you know, and everything. Bro, my boy Lalo, you know, Hosa, he's one of the originals from the Recall production. He went up right before me, and It's the same thing on the way. We drove together on the way up, and I was saying, like, hey, bro, you just like speed up your jokes a little bit, man. You're great. You got to speed them up and stack them and stack them. And this motherfucker went out there and lit it up. He lit it up. Lit it up. Lit it up so bad, bro. And then, the crowd was into him and everything. And then I hit the stage and I go, and of course, like, I've done that stage. I've been in front of those people. Like, I go for it. It's just like I told him, like, hey, bro, you left me nothing, motherfucker. Like, you left nothing for me to work with.
Yeah, you had to follow up with him.
Yeah, it's like I was the last guy in the gangbang, bro. By the time I got there, she wanted to nap. Like, you know what I mean? Like, bad. Like, yeah, bro. And it was humbling, bro. It was humbling. I was supposed to do 20 minutes. As soon as I got the one last big laugh that I felt like, all right, this is an all or nothing Hail Mary. I dropped it, got the big laugh. I'm out of here, man. Thank you very much. Whatever I get on, I told my homeboy that's doing the show, like, man, that hit my 20s. Like, bro, that was 13 minutes. Shit. Like, I told him, hey, bro, I was drowning, bro. Like, get me out of here. Yeah.
I always wanted to know this. You probably can't tell like a comic secret, but how the hell you know when your set is up? Like, are you looking at somebody in the audience doing something, signals or something?
Well, the host of the show, he's gonna have his phone, and when you tell him, like, if I'm doing 15 minutes, I'll tell him, okay, light me at 13, so I know I got 2 minutes left. So he'll be in the back of the room, and he'll start flashing his phone. So you gotta look for the flash, or he'll stand where you're looking, and he'll start flashing you. So when he flashes you, it gives you like a notice, like, okay, you're 2 minutes. And then once you hit your 15, if you're rolling with them, they'll tell you. If you're rolling it, I'm gonna let you go. And then you close it out. But I already gave you a warning. But if you're struggling, they're gonna hit you again with the light. Like, hey, bro, like, we got other people. Like, get off the stage, Yeah, so that's what the comics do. That's how we give each other a warning. It's the lights. But if it's a comedy club, they'll have a light bulb at the top of the room in the back, and they'll flick it up and down, and they'll let you know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. I always wondered, like, how those guys do that. Let me ask you a question, because you hear about, Cat Williams and all these dudes talking about people stealing their jokes. Do you ever tell your jokes to other comedians, or you just be in a room by yourself, or you try it out with family first?
I do. I like I work bits in front of comics, or like, like we chop shop. Like we chop, like we chop it up, we're throwing jokes at each other, we're roasting each other. But you can tell when a comic is working his material on you. Like we can tell. Like, all right, like, but it's like that. And as far as like stealing it, it's that happens with like huge cities where there's like a flow of comics that are coming in from other parts of the country. They hear this joke, so they can hear a joke in Chicago and then go and take it to Cleveland without anybody even knowing that comic said it. You know what I mean? So they can do that. It's hard to do it in our circles because we fuck with each other. Like we're we call each other like our comedy primos, like in Corpus and Laredo and San Antonio. Like we're all like comedy cousins. So like so we've never really had a problem with like jokes. Like, of course, there's been like open micers that come in using big comedian material.
Wow.
Like you know what I mean? Like, bitch, that's a Dave Chappelle joke. Like, what are you doing? Like, like, and if you're doing that in front of comedians, we know it. Like, we study this. Like, we study comedy, so we know if you're using there was a recent one, man. We did an open mic, and then some guy came out of nowhere, like, yeah, I've been doing it for a while. This guy was doing Ari Spears jokes from the Def Comedy Jam era, which like I grew up on that, bro. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like, I know, like, oh hell no, and we talked to him, like, not called him out on it. It's just that we told him, like, it's you need to be careful where you do that, because comedians do take that serious. And I understand you're barely starting out, and that's your instinct. Like, of course, everybody's gonna mimic their favorite comedian. It's okay to mimic them, but if you're gonna go out in front of people that actually study this art, you're gonna run into people that are gonna call you out of your shit, and they're gonna, let everybody, And it's a dirty game when people get accused of stealing and stuff, and and I mean, as long as you know that you're being original, and if you can have proof, like, hey, I said this at this time or whatever. And a lot of times in comedy, like, jokes run parallel. So you might think that your idea is unique, but there's millions of other motherfuckers, like, doing comedy. There's got to be a chance somebody else has thought of something along the lines. So it's a lot of, like, parallel thinking. That's what you kind of run into, because you'll have, like, comedians that have never met each other, have never seen each other, but they'll have a joke that runs parallel. Like, okay, like, this is, like, this is kind of what you start running into.
Right. You ever
But
been somewhere? One of your boys called, yo, man, I'm out here in Houston. This motherfucker on stage telling got your whole bit going.
yeah, oh, I've seen them on TikTok. What the fuck, like, and a lot of times it's just I've had a couple of instances, and it was just a quick message, like not talking shit, like, hey, you stole my stuff. I just want to make you aware that I do also run a joke. It's kind of very similar. Like I'm not the kind of guy that's gonna like, hey, you stole my shit, because
Right.
like I understand, like if they might have overheard it or something. So I kind of give them that grace. I don't want to call you out a thief. I'm gonna give you a chance to say, like, okay, well, my bad. Like, plead your case. You know what I'm saying? Now, if you come and say like, "Yeah, what the fuck you gonna do about it?" Well, then now we got a problem. But it's like I've reached out to them like, "Hey, bro, I say a joke that runs similar to this. I just want to let you aware." So I'll send them a video of it. Like, here's my joke. So just in
Right.
case we're working with people that we both, commonly know, I don't want them to tell you, and I don't want your people to tell me like this. This is my date. It's the one that did it. And a lot of
Yeah.
times that's all it is. Like, oh shit, my bad. I was just kind of I thought about this, and yeah, it is sounds similar, but I'll change it. And I told him, of course, like, and I'll change mine too. Like, hey, like to me, like that joke is already too easy.
Right.
If somebody else is doing it, okay, now I need to put a little more spice on it, so that there's no, that gets my focus back on that joke again, and
Gotcha.
start working it more.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Do you sell any merch at your shows? So I was at a comedy show and a guy was selling he had t-shirts and like these little like
Yeah.
wristband type things he was selling. I was like, okay, I respect the hustle. I think I got a wristband for like $5. He's taking like
Yeah.
donations, like $5 or something.
Well, I got my shirt hanging up covering the evidence real quick, but like I didn't have my flag. But yeah, man, I would sell shirts. I'm sold out of those. We were gonna start selling chamoy, like squeeze bottles, like the chamoy and that stuff. And I was
Yeah.
gonna call it hood rat ketchup, because I always like I call it hood, like, oh, you got the hood rat ketchup, like they put that shit on
Oh,
everything.
yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
we're gonna start selling that. Yeah, we're gonna start selling I was doing that thing called I got the body of a god, so they drew me like as a Buddha, and like they put my head on a Buddha. So yeah, and the merch, like I have dabbled in it. We've sold stickers and stuff, but right now it's like I said, I still got a long way before I can even worry. For the first singers in comedy, money should be the last thing on your list.
Right. Right.
That should be the last thing. Of course, you want to make money when you do shows, but to me, it's right now I'm just focusing on the art, focusing on the hustle, focusing on
Mm-hmm.
what I got to do, so that eventually the money will come.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's right.
takes
Yeah.
a
I
while
like
though.
Yeah. Oh, you got what do you have coming up? You got anything coming up? Any shows coming up?
I got a couple of local shows, and then I'm gonna be working with. I know Valente. I'm gonna be working with him soon. I'm thinking when he comes back down. I'm a regular at Raymond Horta's room at the Isa Grand. I'll be hitting San Antonio next weekend. I'm gonna be in at the Tandem Bar or something like that. Yeah, Tandem Bar with Duck Easy. I'll be headlining that one. I'll be doing there's a couple of comedian bigger names that are gonna be coming through, and my name's kind of at the top of the list. So, be opening up and featuring for them right now. So, like I said, right now is just doing that. I do put shows together, but right now I'm just really putting in the grind again. Getting back on track and everything. So,
Yeah.
but I do keep everybody updated on my Facebook, on my Instagram. I put up the videos every once in a while on my TikTok. So yeah, it's more of when it comes in, I announce it like, hey, I'm gonna be opening up for this guy, or I'm gonna be featuring here, or I'm gonna be
Yeah.
in town here and stuff like that.
Okay. Now, what do you have a agent who's doing the booking and stuff? Are you doing it all yourself?
Yeah, right now I'm just doing it all myself. It's just keeping in contact with people whenever they're coming through, or hey, we need like I said, hey, we need you over here in San Antonio. Hey, we need you in Corpus. Hey, we need you over here. So it's just yeah, just booking for myself. I was working with a group out of Colorado, but I mean, like I said, to be to be successful in comedy, you got to give up everything,
Uh,
and I can't, you know what I mean? I got a family, I got my wife, I
yeah.
can't, like, it's to really kick off your career. That's what you got to
Yeah.
do. You got to hit the road. You got to do the the treble runs, the
Yeah.
like that kind of stuff, those kind of runs. And it's not called that no more, but like you got to do all these little stages from here to fucking New York
Yeah.
to
Yeah. Yeah.
to do all that and live
Yeah.
in your car and stuff.
Yeah. Yep. Steve
So
Harvey said he was living in his car and
Yeah.
Like that. A lot of sacrifices.
Yeah. So right now, what I'm just trying to do is just trying to shine in my area, shine where I'm at, and the scene is growing. The exposure is growing. So Texas right now is the main place for comedy. So right now it's just luckily I'm only 5 hours away from Austin. So from here to Austin, I got to make enough noise for the big dogs to hear me out there, and then those opportunities to take off from there. That's why I say, like, I'm not trying to get ahead of my hustle. It's just make enough noise for them to hear me. And then
but the state of Texas is so big. Are you doing any shows out in Houston? How far are you from Houston?
We'll be heading to Houston real soon. I'm about 8 hours away from Houston.
Okay.
8 hours. I'm about 6 hours from Dallas. So we are starting to reach out. I'll be looking to do like in Texas City. We'll be hitting the Houston area clubs and everything. My goal is to definitely go to Dallas and do the Hyenas, the comedy club Hyenas, because that was the first big comedy stage that I ever got to see. The guy let me in during COVID just to see the stage, and I fell in love with it. So that's my dream, to make it to Hyenas Comedy Club. But I've been close to getting onto we're gonna actually be doing a open mic run through Austin within maybe a month. So we're gonna grind out the Austin area and see what falls out, see what shows we can book, and hopefully get on that Kill Tony, man, get that 1 minute or the open mic at the Mothership.
Oh man, nice. Hey, any social media you wanna drop? Anybody, if they want to see your shows, how can they check you out?
Yeah, I usually keep up to date on all my shows through my Instagram, Anthony Nino. You'll find it. I think it's Anthony Nino, like 13 or 14. My Facebook, Anthony Nino Comedy, my comedy page. I got a TikTok, Anthony Nino 19. I got a couple videos on there. Some of my stand-up clips. Some little things that I do here around the house and work. And yeah, man, just like pretty much that right now.
Gotcha. And I'm gonna promote you too. I'm gonna drop everything you just said. It's gonna be in the description so they can go check you out. I want to see you do good, because I like the fact I hit you up. You hit me up immediately, like, yo, yeah, I'm there, man. You don't know me from a but you was like, hey,
yeah, man, yeah. No, and I appreciate it. And to me, it's more appreciating even you reaching out, bro. Like, you reaching out to me like that. I'm gonna like that's crazy. Like, hey, this guy's heard my name. Hey, like, homeboy wants to put me on the podcast. Like, let's do it, man. Let's do it. Like, yeah. And it's just, I'm still like to where any little thing, bro, I appreciate it, man. Just getting called up for a show. And I'm actually just, after doing that wedding, now I'm going to be doing a podcast here in the Valley, because the guy I didn't even know runs a podcast I had him cracking up all fucking night. So, you know what I mean? Like, you know that. And, I do appreciate it. I was checking out some of the episodes, man. I like what you're talking about. When everyone get that politics, let's get it, bro. I love that.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, man. You welcome back here anytime, man. You want to come through, chop it up with me?
Yeah, man. Definitely, brother, man. Once again, man, I appreciate it, man. Thank you, everybody that's tuning in. Everybody come checking me out. You can find me. I'm down here in the tip of Texas. Anybody want to try to book me up out of here, también, hey, I put in that work, baby, and I bring that heat every time.
Yes, sir. And my man is funny as hell. Check him out, man. Anthony Nino. Yo, I appreciate you. I thank you for coming on the show, my brother.
Thank you, sir. All right, big dog. Thank you.
Hey, happy Father's Day too, man.
Man, I appreciate that, brother. You too, big dog.
All right.
Yeah, man. All right, brother. You have a good day, man.
You too.
Peace.
Anthony Nino on the check-in, comic, stand-up comedian. This is the No Anonymity Podcast. Saturday night show, man. Saturday night show. I want to thank everybody for coming in. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. I'm gonna have all the links to the description so you can go check out his work. The dude is super, super, super funny. All the fathers out there, happy Father's Day. And until next time, yo, peace and love, y'all. I'm gone. Drag through the mud. It's all conversation. We just talking the facts. And to those with opinions can reply to that. And I reply you back. But that's besides the fact. It's like time for the show. Let's get your mind intact. We can all conversate and lay out facts. It's the No Anonymity Podcast. Let's go. No anonymity, no anonymity podcast. No anonymity, no anonymity podcast. No anonymity, no anonymity podcast.
No anonymity, no anonymity. I'm here to talk the truth and try to spread a little change. Educate your mind, food for your brain. We all want change in these dying days. The streets at rage, for the youth must pray. I ain't got time for y'all to tell me nothing. Cats be frontin', that's when you know they know nothing. It's a new world order, so fall in line. Sometime if you listen, it can open your eyes. This your brain on drugs. Let's explain what was, how some get targeted, dragged through the mud. It's all conversation, we just talking the facts. And to those with opinions can reply to that. And I reply you back, but that's besides the fact. It's like time for the show, let's get your mind intact. We can all conversate and lay out facts. It's the No Anonymity Podcast. Let's go.